first week in Noah's Yard, well, firstly, it was all about just getting over my nerves, which were considerable. The first couple of evenings, particularly the first couple of performances, I don't remember anything about them. I was so adrenalinized and kind of hyper, and just talking, because of course I don't know what I'm going to say, and so I don't know if I even let people get a word in edgewise, to be honest. The kind of the confidence thing of just actually sort of saying to people, what do you want to talk about? And then letting that sit, and that was a really tough thing to do, and it was only really by the Friday night I was getting the hang of that. So this is the fifth of the One-Eyed Man experiments. Thanks very much for coming, everybody. It's lovely to see you all. I don't know how much you know about this. There's not really an awful lot to know, since there's nothing scripted, nothing prepared, nothing planned whatsoever about this evening's experiment. I can't call it a performance, because a performance would suggest that I'd prepared something, or that there was any sense of expectation of what you were going to get. That, in fact, is probably too much information. We had a very nice woman who came on the first night who said, life is essentially meaningless. And I hope you'll hang on to that as we go through the next hour and a quarter. What do you want to talk about? By the Friday night, I'd really fallen into structure quite heavily, to the point where I was pretty much, certainly I think the sixth show, the 8:30 show on the Friday, I was sort of repeating myself. The experience of doing it is akin to sort of throwing yourself out of a plane without a parachute, and of course if you don't have a parachute, the one thing you want is a parachute, because then you feel secure, you feel more secure. So of course I was desperately trying to kind of put a structure on it. The bonhomie is spreading and we all feel like we like each other and know each other, but I have a little revelation, which is that I think I hate you all.
Thank you very much. So nice.
Why do you hate them?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a rational thing. People just annoy me on all sorts of levels, in ways that I find very difficult to, stay benign about.
Knock the door.
You see, what I'm feeling is that I'm not alone here. I'm not necessarily alone here in my blanket hatred of humanity. There we go.
We're in that 40 to 50-year-old bracket, which is...
Yeah, I was going to say, did you say you were 40?
Yes, I did.
It gets worse.
Yeah. But see, that's not what I want. You see, because I've got limited time. I've got extremely limited time because it's the rapture tomorrow. But I've got limited time, as we all have. I'm getting very limited time, and I really don't want to think that this is going to be the rest of my life, that I'm going to be hating everybody. So I suppose my next question is, look, we've got a bit of consensus about some of these issues. So my next question is, am I alone? Is it just me? But the things I did learn, the amazing things I learned, were how generous people are, how willing people are to open up and share amazing things, how funny people are, how lovely people are, in terms of just their openness and their desire to kind of be for human contact. Because really, what I'm doing is about communication. What I have for you for the next 15 minutes is a random act of kindness, and the random act of kindness is one person this evening can have up to a day of my life.
I think you should walk up and down offering free hugs.
Free hugs.
Yeah.
Signed free hugs.
Yeah. The proper hugs. Yes. Not that.
Proper, not that half,
Yes.
the proper full body.
Yeah.
Teach people. Because nobody knows how to, noticed how men hug each other.
Yes, let's do
It's
it.
like this.
Let's do it.
Like no groinal contact at all.
Good to see you. Great to see you. There you go. That's not a hug.
No, do it properly, just to show us.
Come on.
This is the £3 well worth it spent now, isn't it?
There you go. You getting this on tape? Yeah. Marvellous. So maybe it was an absolutely amazing experience already, which then fed into week 2 in Cardiff. And interestingly, if anybody's been following this, interestingly, it helped my health. After doing it, a couple of times, I felt so much better. Dr. Theatre, but of course, is it theatre? I don't know. I still don't know what it is. I don't know what it is I'm doing. You know, that's the joy of experiment. People have been coming along and really responding to it in a wonderful way, and feeding back to me how much they're enjoying it and finding it fascinating and interesting, and I really hope that continues. It's been amazing, and there are still 4 weeks to go. Well, I don't know about anybody else, but I feel much more warm and positive about humanity in general after spending time with you lovely people. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.